a vibe coding project for beginners. Let's build a link in bio website that can handle millions of users, and I'll show you how to build it right. Hi, I'm a software engineer in big tech, paid at the top 1% of software engineers, and I'm going to teach you what you need to know so that you can confidently replace me with AI. Now look at this. I know it looks simple, but this represents something. If you can get to here, you can get to anywhere. If you can get to this point, then AI can build anything for you. Now what is here? This is a simple front end. This is what appears in your browser or app. And we have a backend. See, if you press this button, boom, you can get a message. It doesn't matter what the message is, but it matters that you can get the message. Everything that you're going to build has three parts. You have a front end and a back end, but the back end is made out of the logic, the back end logic, and the infrastructure. So in my projects, I'll have these three folders. I'll have the front end that can be React. I'll have the back end logic that can be written in Python, and infrastructure. Let's use AWS CDK. Hello, girlie. Hello. So now back to this page. That means if you've gotten to here, you've set up the three parts of your project correctly. By the way, save this video so it can help you prompt your AI. Now let's talk about front end. I like to keep this file around called page prototyping. And it's basically a saved prompt for the AI, which says, hey, I'm about to develop this new feature, and I want you to make three variations of this, of what it's going to look like. So as you're building your product, you need to think about what are all the actions that a user needs to take on my website? And then for each of those actions, you need to build a page or a button or whatever. And a lot of the time, I don't even know what that should be like. But if you tell the AI, hey, build it three ways and I'll pick the best, it's a lot easier. For my link in bio website, now I have three versions of the admin page where you add your links. So three different ways that the AI has done it, and I can choose the best one. Now let's talk about the backend. Pay attention here. What I describe will allow you to get from 0 to 1 million customers without any changes to your system. You're going to build your backend mostly on these two things. So imagine you have a computer. There's two parts of it. You have a processor, right? That's how does the logic run? And then you also have storage. That's your hard drive. So the two things again, processing and storage. You can use AWS Lambda for your processing. You can use AWS DynamoDB for your storage. Now, why these two things? Both of these will scale to your traffic. And both of these you can set up as pay as you go or pay on demand. So when you have only one customer, let's say you're developing and there's one user who is you, then you'll end up paying something like $1 or $2 a month. Then once you have more people coming into your website, then you'll pay for that amount of processing that you need. And even then, because you're building with these basic products, it's going to be surprisingly cheap. Now, the next thing I'm about to say is for your AI, you don't have to get this completely, but give this message to your AI. In your Python logic, whenever you use DynamoDB, make sure there are no table scans, only queries. For example, you set up the primary key as some kind of user ID. And if you do this, even with 1 million customers, you'll get the information you need within milliseconds. That's it. That's everything you need to know to make a vibe coding project link in bio website for millions of users. This project took me 2 days, and it's what I use now.